Good morning and welcome to Thin-nology's Remote Workplace Solutions webinar. My name is John Bowling. I'm president of Thin-nology. A little bit about Thin-ology. We have been in business since 2004 and we have been providing remote workplace solutions since our inception. This is not new technology. I was actually doing what we term virtualization back in the middle 80s and beyond for control systems in the refining petrochemical world. So we were one of the first cloud providers in the nation. Like I said, we've been doing it since our inception in 2004. We've also, I guess, been a little unique in that as a solutions provider, we've always used and still do utilize engineers for most everything we do. We think this is a good thing, as one of the keys to providing uptime is to understand processes, because only with processes and procedures and protocols can you manage and maintain the complexity of the systems today. So we use engineers to ensure that our systems have all of the right steps in place for everything that we do. We have our own data center and we have our own server farm. Obviously, we had to start building servers from the very beginning because there was no AWS, there was no Azure, there was no Google back in 2004 providing these types of services. So we started building and deploying remote desktop services, thin client technology back then. And it was a little tough. We didn't have all of the nice tools that we have today. Also, we didn't have all of the tools for alerting us, you know, when hard drives are filling up, memory's getting used up or stuff like that. So it was a lot of, on the job experience and learning, you know, what to look out for. But today, thankfully, we've got a lot of tools that help us do that. We operate 24/7, 365. We're a data center, so we have to that, but also a lot of customers operate that as well now, and even accounting firms, especially during accounting season. They operate 24/7, 365. Some of our other customers that are in transportation and things like that, they also are running as close to 24/7, 365 as there is. They may close down for a couple of hours between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., but for the most part, they're running 24/7 as well. The system that we deploy today is very different than we did way back in 2004. Back in 2004, we literally loaded up operating systems up onto a physical server 2 or 3, 4 times, you know, in order to get the most use out of the hardware and produce a terminal services environment for our customers to use. Today, we're all high availability, so we use very large host machines, and inside those host machines, we can be running, you know, 20, 30, 50 different virtual servers, and all of the servers that we're running, there's a replication of them running. So there's not one terminal server that you log into that if it fails, it goes away and you have to wait for it to come back. If one server shuts down, another one automatically picks up where that one left off. So there's a synchronization, real-time synchronizations going on between all of the different servers, whether they be a terminal servers that those are the servers that you'd actually log into, whether they be application servers or file servers, as shown in this slide right here. So the whole idea here is to create maximum uptime, because with maximum uptime, then that is when your productivity is going to go up, and productivity means more revenues, and hopefully more revenues mean greater profits. So we really focus on making sure that you're up all of the time. As one customer told us, the cost savings of moving to our RWS didn't really matter, because the additional revenue and profits created by being up all of the time far exceeded any cost savings. And there are cost savings to be garnered here. If you're a small 10, 12-man company with a server, then you're going to realize about 20% cost savings being on this system year over year. But if you're a 50 or 100-person company, then your cost savings are going to be even better. They're going to be upwards of 40% year-on-year savings in terms of managing servers, managing equipment, all that kind of stuff. Your PCs, we refer to them as fat clients, literally become thin clients. So the hard drives last longer, everything lasts longer. You're not maintaining your own in-house servers. In fact, you'll never buy another server again. You don't have to. It's all provided as part of our RWS solution. So, we're all about uptime, and we're all about making sure and managing all of that information and data for you. I think I noticed in a previous slide, one of the things that I noted was that we manage and have managed over the years probably 100 different applications. Whether it be medical, accounting, legal, manufacturing, transportation, and you name it, and we've managed those applications. And so those application servers, like your terminal server, they're also replicated, and they're also running in a redundant mode in the background. So if something goes wrong with one, then another one will automatically pick up. Now, in addition to having a high availability systems, then what's the use of having a high availability system if you can't get to it because one internet connection fails? So we have high redundancy, high availability on our network systems as well. This is a high-level diagram, but you'll see there's multiple firewalls. There's actually probably 30, 35 different devices that manage this. So if we lose one device on one particular network, another one picks up. In this diagram, you'll see there's one ISP and another ISP. If one of them goes down, another one automatically picks up. So, and you don't have to do anything. None of the IP addresses coming into the building changes. What happens is if one ISP goes down, it hands all those IP addresses off to the other ISP. And if that one, when it comes back up, it hands it back again. And then those two are swapping IP addresses all the time in the event that they need to, in the event that something has happened to one of them, they've gone down for whatever reason. And ISPs go down, just like everything else, probably more so in our environment than they should, but they have to upgrade and update all of their systems. And of course, we have to upgrade and update all of our systems. So if we have to upgrade or change out a firewall, as an example, and coming in from ISP1, then the firewalls that are handling ISP2 automatically take over. And we're trying as much as possible to protect you from the outside world. I will say that for all of the money that we spend on trying to protect you, there is no technology out there yet that can protect you from you. So the nice things about these new firewalls that we're having in place, they will not stop you from clicking on a crypto virus. And there is no way of actually stopping the crypto virus from infecting your system as yet. But these guys are getting close. So these firewalls that we have in place now, they're actually designed to stop outbound traffic that it figures is malware. So if you do click on something, then there's a good chance that it can be stopped. I'm not going to say that is true for crypto viruses yet, but it is certainly true for a lot of the other malware that's out there. So if they're trying to download keystroke loggers and all these different things onto the systems, and they have to go back out to their own servers to capture that from you, a lot of that stuff now is blocked. And I'm sure that it's only a matter of time before the crypto virus bad guys are also included in those blockages. So we're trying, but certainly as a user, you've got to be very diligent. Think before you click on a link. If you get an email that states we've deposited $3,500 in your account, we need you to click here to verify it. Why would they need that? If they put the money in your account, why do they need you to verify it? They've done it. Those are just scams, and all they're trying to do is get information from you. They're trying to get into your system. So be alert and stay away from that. These guys that create these attacks are incredibly smart when it comes to computer science stuff. They're dumber than dumb when it comes to messaging. If you just take a moment and read the message, you'll see that it's an attack. So be alert and check before you click on anything. Now, the other things that we do to protect you is we have redundant backup systems. So every night our systems back up to these are offline systems. So they're not on the same networks as our RWS. In fact, these guys, even though this backup server might be in the same rack with the RWS servers, they actually have to go out to the internet and come back in to get the backups. The idea there is to keep them completely separate from any of the other infrastructure. So if that infrastructure gets infected, it can't infect the backup servers. So we have a redundancy in the backup. So when the main backup server has completed its backups, then it backs up again to another backup server. So during the course of a day, we'll have 2 backup servers that have your backed up data from the night before. Incidentally, this is encrypted data. So once we are backing it up, we're encrypting it as we put it into those backup servers. Then finally, the last thing we do is the end of every month. And it takes about 4 to 5 days to get it onto the hard drives, but we copy all of the backup servers onto hard drives and send them off to a company here called SafeSite locally, and that's a data storage facility. It's a secure facility, no windows, iron doors, all that kind of good stuff. Kind of like an Iron Mountain. Everybody's familiar with Iron Mountain, so it's kind of like an Iron Mountain, but it's a smaller operation. Operates out of Houston, San Antonio, Dallas, and Austin, but still does exactly the same job very well. So RWS in a nutshell, it's going to provide you maximum uptime. You're going to enjoy and reap the benefits of being able to work whenever you want to work, from wherever you want to work, on whatever device you want to work from. So you can have a PC, you can have a MacBook Pro, you can have an iPad, you can have one of the Samsung pads. So just about any device, including phones. Don't recommend you use your phones other than an emergency, because it's annoying having to scroll through the screen. But certainly it's available to you if you need to do it in an emergency. There's significant cost savings to be had from moving from an internal network system with a server to the RWS infrastructure. A small operation, you're going to realize about 20% year-on-year cost savings. You're never going to buy another server again, that's for sure. Your PCs and all of those kinds of things are going to last a lot longer because you're not reading and writing to the hard drive anymore. You're essentially, your PC or your MacBook Pro becomes what we call a thin client. It's really using your keyboard, your mouse, and your screen for display. On a larger organization, 50, 100 people or more, then your cost savings are going to be quite a bit more, because typically you're going to have an internal IT guy, and that the necessity for, depending on the size, the necessity for that starts to go away. So you get all those cost savings. So typically you're looking at about 40% year-on-year cost savings to move into this environment. So we always have a saying here at Thin-nology: if there's no business case, then there is no case. For RWS, there is a significant business case to be had for the services provided here. To get into the security, we do utilize two-factor authentication. Everybody's getting used to that now. We see that being a normal thing. In the next 2 years, you won't be able to log into any online account or anything without having to approve it on your cell phone first. So we deployed that nearly a year ago now for all of our users. As I mentioned, high availability on the backup systems, and then also encryption. So when you are typing keystrokes into your thin client, your device that you're using to talk to the RWS infrastructure, all of that traffic backwards and forwards is encrypted. We also offer what we call at-rest encryption. So, so when you're not using your data, you're not using your system, you're logged out, then your data is at rest. It can be encrypted at rest. And it's becoming more and more popular, especially in financial services world, accounting worlds, and stuff like that, where you have to have now it's mandated to have encryption at rest. When you log in, it's decrypted, and you can use it. The minute you log out, it gets encrypted again. And again, we're providing all the protection we can with our systems, you know, firewalls, antivirus, and all that kind of stuff. We're doing the best that's humanly possible. You know, there's not one antivirus out there that will get everything. There's many times, you know, we've tried them all over the years. We've tried Sophos, we've tried Trend Micro, we've tried McAfee, we've tried a number of them. Right now, we're on Symantec. And we've never found anyone to be any better than the other. We just keep changing and trying to see if there is. But many times we'll find, you know, especially trick bots get onto systems now, you know, all the time. So we find that a lot of your typical Symantec, as an example that we're using, won't get some of those trick bots. So, you know, we're continuously running malware bites and things like that, other tools in the background to get rid of these annoying little malware infections. So we're doing the best that we can, and I think we're doing a pretty good job at it. Now, in order to keep these systems up all of the time, we have to monitor them because you're saving off data. The hard drives are filling up, log files are being created. So we're continuously monitoring for hard drive space, for how much RAM you're using, how many cores do we need to assign. And in the world that we're in, all of this is dynamic. So if we see that you're running out of storage space, we can dynamically assign more storage. If you're running out of cores, we can dynamically assign more cores. If you're running out of RAM, we can just tell the system we need to give you more RAM. And we monitor all this. So if we're looking for, if you're using up more than 75%, say, of the RAM, we're going to assign more automatically, because that's going to lead into a degradation in performance. Because what's going to happen if you're using up consistently 75%, if somebody goes to make a good big print job, that's going to suck up another 15, 20%. So you're going to see your performance slow down. When you're typing in, you're going to see those keystrokes start following behind you. So we continuously monitor for all that stuff so that we can provide the best user experience in addition to uptime. Now, if the system punches out what we call a critical error, then it automatically creates a ticket that goes into our ticketing system. And our engineers use our ticketing system as kind of a workflow tool. So all the time as the tickets are coming in, and they're addressing all of those tickets as they come in. And it could be anything from, you know, please run the updates on my QuickBooks to such and such a user can't open X application. So no matter what it is, we're monitoring, we're taking care of all these tickets all of the time. Our typical turnaround on most tickets, we're pretty much done with most of the tickets within a couple of hours. But if we get a critical ticket come in from either the user or from the system, then the guys stop everything they're doing and address the critical ticket, because that means that there's a danger that service is about to be interrupted. And remember, our goal is the same as your goal, uptime, because uptime means more revenue and more profits. So the other thing that we've done over the years to kind of help manage this is we have a knowledge base. We've been using this ticketing system 10, 12 years. So over the last 10, 12 years, we've been building a knowledge base of all of the different problems that we fixed in all of these different applications. A good example is QuickBooks. You know, we've learned a lot about that over the years. We probably haven't called QuickBooks in 8 to 10 years for technical support. Obviously, we talk to them all the time. We're a QuickBooks solutions provider, and we talk to them, you know, in the daily course of business for, you know, adding in customers, buying customers, new products, and stuff like that. But from a technical perspective, you know, we haven't called them. From a technical perspective, you know, as I mentioned earlier, we've been doing this so long. QuickBooks wouldn't even provide us support for terminal services 10 years ago. They tell us it's a non-supported technology. And so we had to learn how to run QuickBooks in our environment long before QuickBooks had to learn to do it. And so we've probably got more experience and and resolved more problems in the terminal services environment than most people out there. So again, this knowledge base has helped us. It helps us a lot because now we don't have to stay on the phone for, you know, 30 minutes or an hour waiting for a vendor support. We can just go to our own knowledge base and we've got the answer we need right there. And again, that's resolving the problem quickly, which means more uptime, which means more revenue, which means more profits. Another service we provide to our customers as part of our RWS solution is we provide what's called dark web monitoring. This is not ID theft protection. Think of it as a proactive approach to ID theft protection. So a good example is 2-3 years ago, Home Depot had all of their databases stolen, and they got put out there on the dark web. And as they started selling off that information, which was my account was in there, so they sold off my account information. You know, my email address, my username to log in to the account, and also the password. Right. So when that got sold, then we weren't running dark web monitoring then, but if we had been, then I would have been alerted. We would have been alerted, as has happened since, that my information is being sold out there on the dark web. So that alerts me to thinking straight away, okay, if I use this password in another place, this same username, same password, maybe on my Amazon account, or maybe on my Best Buy account, something like that. So it alerts me that straight away start changing username and passwords to all these different accounts. The other thing I did, of course, was go straight to my bank accounts. Not that I had done that, but in case you know that some information somewhere else had been stolen and was about to be sold on the dark web, then I've been proactive and I've got involved and I've changed all of those things, because you can be sure if they've got something on you, then there's more coming down the pipe. A lot of these big companies, they just can't stop the hackers from getting in and getting their databases. You know, whether it's something simple like your Yahoo Mail, you know, or Google Mail or stuff like that. We all remember the fiasco of the 2016 election when John Podesta emails got hacked, and you know, it all ended up out there on the internet. You've got to be prepared for this stuff, and so you've got to be able to take proactive action. And so what we're doing here is we're providing you that proactive action. And that's our webinar for this morning. I thank you for joining us. We're going to be watching the chat boxes here and answering the questions. If you would like to give us a call, 512-670-3930, or send an email to sales@thin-nology.com, and we'll be happy to help and talk to you about joining us on our remote workspace solutions product line. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.